Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you guys didn't know, GMMTV recently released the trailers for some of their upcoming works this 2021. So I thought I could make this quick video just to give you guys some of my thoughts and first impressions from some of these series, specifically the BL series. So the first show I'm going to be talking about is Fish Upon the Sky. Now this one stars Fuin and Pon. The last I remember seeing of them was in The Gifted Graduation. Fuin played as third, and then Pon was in that I Love Egg commercial that we see at the end of each episode. From what I can tell with the trailer, it looks as though Fuin's character named P, he is a dentistry student and then he falls for this one guy in the university. But then Pon's character, Mork, comes in and then he becomes P's sort of love rival. But then as the trailer went on, it seemed as though it was more progressing towards P and Mork being the endgame. First of all, I was really excited to see that Fuin is getting a new starring role in the series because one, I loved him in The Gifted Graduation. He did so well as third. But then I also remember seeing him in 'Cause You're My Boy, this series starring Frank and Drake. So seeing him in a starring role in this series, I was so happy to see that. And another reason why this series drew me in was because apparently it's based on a book by the author who brought us Together and Theory of Love. Now knowing that information, I have some expectations now for this series. But based on the trailer alone, I think that this series is gonna be a cute one. So we'll see what happens when this series drops next year and how the reception of the fans will take it. The next series I'm going to be talking about is called Enchanté. Same goes with all these actors' names. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Now right off the bat, one thing I noticed was that the actors in this series are mostly newcomers. Like the two leads are named, I'm reading off of my drama list for this, Book and Force. But then it's also starring Fluke of Dark Blue Kiss and Fluke of The Shipper and that egg commercial at the end of The Gifted Graduation. From what I can tell with the trailer, it looks as though Book's character named Theo, he had lived in France for some time but then he came back to Thailand to study there. So then of course it was hard for him to make friends until he got into a friendship with Force's character, Ak. And then Theo went into the library and then he started having like a little conversation with someone who was writing in one of the books, which by the way I don't think is necessarily allowed, but I'll let it slide. And then next thing you know, Theo suddenly gets chased down because four guys are suddenly getting those feelings for him, which wow, sana all. From what I noticed with this trailer ever since it dropped, I didn't really see too many people talking about this compared to the other trailers that were released. And one thing that's on my mind right now is I feel like this could get a similar fan base as My Gear and Your Gown. So right now this show, it seems as though it's flying under the radar for now in terms of its fan base, but who knows what could happen when the show releases. Because for me personally, I loved My Gear and Your Gown and I wish that people would look at it more because it was honestly a good series. So right now, if I'm assuming that could be the case for Enchanté, if it is as great as I'm hoping it could be, then it'll get a good fan base. Okay, this next series is called Not Me, and freaking hey, OffGun is back to attack us. Okay, the first thing I will say about the show is, first, OffGun, but also I'm already liking the vibe of the show. We've seen so many of these BL series take place in a university setting, but then the looks of this one, it seems as though it's more of a mature theme, and we see some crime-related stuff happening. So it looks as though this one is gonna be a bit more of a mature themed series. Oh, another thing I'm excited for is seeing Gun in this role. Or rather, roles. Now we know that Gun is an amazing actor because after seeing him in The Gifted, the boy has got range. So I can say I'm very much looking forward to this series. And again, it's OffGun. Now the last BL I'm going to be talking about is
the one that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are very much anticipating.
Bad Buddy the series.
I know, a lot of you were hoping that
Namon was gonna be happening, but then seeing that Nanon is actually paired with Ohm in this series, I'm not mad at it. And from the looks of this trailer, it looks as though Nanon and Ohm's characters, Fran and Pat, it looks as though they were in a sort of rivalry type of image. Like they have gone through generations of being in this rivalry relationship. But then it looks more like they're pretending to be like that, but then they're just secretly helping each other in some way. It's a cute concept, I will give it that. Also, it's good to see Nanon play a character that's not in high school. We had The Gifted, we had My Dear Loser, we had Blacklist. I'm pretty sure sure there's more, but it's not coming on the top of my head right now. Nanon has now graduated high school and his characters have now moved on to university. And if I may talk about Ohm, I love him as an actor. I loved him in He's Coming to Me. I loved him in The Shipper. Same goes with Nanon. I know he's an amazing actor as well. So it's one thing to see them come together, but seeing them come together in the BL series,
the flavor though.
so yes, I'm on the same train ride as many of you guys are. This series, I'm very much excited for. Okay, going away from the BL series first. One show that kind of caught my eye for a bit was Baker Boys. I'll admit, the main thing that really caught my eye was Lee. Oh, hello, are you guys kidding me right now?
I'm sold.
I know, it's not a BL series, and then I've seen many people comment that Lee and Singto, okay.
Pwede naman.
But I could still look out for this series because the plot kind of intrigues me. From what I can tell with the trailer, it follows a group of guys who work at a bakery, and then there's, I think, some sort of mystery behind the bakery and what it's giving to the people, and then there's this reporter that is trying to dig in the information about it. That's from what I can tell with the trailer. I'm pretty sure there's more to it. I could be looking out for this trailer because besides Lee, the plot drew me in. And then there's the one show that many of us have been talking about ever since the week after Still Together ended. F4. Okay, personally, I have not yet watched any of the versions of Boys Over Flowers, so I'm really just providing an outsider's perspective. But from what I heard people saying, the show was very problematic. So that was one thing a lot of us were worried about ever since they announced that they were going to be making a Boys Over Flowers remake. But looking at the trailer, it looks as though it's going to be some good quality so far. Visuals alone. Story-wise, we'll see how it's going to be happening. Okay, the one thing that is throwing me off a bit right now is that Win is paired up with Prim, aka Grace from the Gifted Graduation, and it's the age gap for me. But besides that, we'll see how F4 is going to be playing out when it gets released. So that's all of the series I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you guys have any other series that you're excited for that I wasn't able to mention, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and who knows, maybe you can also draw me into that show and I could also look out for that when it gets released. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. All my social media links will be in the description box below. Subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell post notifications so that you will be notified whenever I post a new video. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video whenever I could possibly make one.